Turning now to a trending stock on the Yahoo Finance platform today, Robinhood. Shares rising on record high revenue, some attributing the rise to the run-up that we saw in crypto and meme stocks earlier this year. Here with some insight, we have Robinhood's CEO Vlad Tenev. Vlad, great to speak with you and grab some time here. I imagine over the course of this week with the sell-off we had seen earlier, then your own earnings, you've probably oscillated from espresso shots to maybe just, ripping Celsius. I don't know, but I imagine it's been extremely busy for you. So thanks for taking the time. First and foremost, let's just start with what we've seen in the market activity more broadly. What goes through your mind as the CEO of a trading platform as large and as international as Robinhood when you do see activity like that?
The activity so far in August has been large. We announced these Q2 results yesterday, and in that earnings call, we talked about July volumes being 20% higher than June, which was the last month of the last quarter, and August has been more of the same. And August is typically a pretty quiet month for retail trading activity, and we haven't seen that this year. We've had $1 billion in net deposits in the first week of August, and the $13 billion we had in Q2 was a record high for us. Just Monday of this week was about $500 million of net deposits into the platform in one day. And then 24-hour market, which Robinhood was a pioneer in, which offers overnight trading in over 1,000 US stocks, that was 3x normal volume on Sunday. So the things that go through my mind are making sure that the system is reliable and performant for customers. On Monday, the majority of the incumbent brokerage competitors were having issues. And those are opportunities for Robinhood to distinguish ourselves because of our technology and kind of position the product as a reliable platform for people when so many others are having issues. And I think customers should feel that they have advantages using Robinhood and they would be disadvantaged by using another platform, which I think you're starting to see with 24-hour market. We offer opportunities that you can't get at other brokerages, and also with reliability at the most important times.
Should investors be bracing for more volatility given what we've seen in the recent trading sessions here? We've had a little bit of a bounce back or an attempted bounce back, but is there, and I know that you used to be in high frequency trading back in the day, is there more that they should be bracing for?
Well, there's a lot of different types of market participants, right? Traders who typically are more advanced, and Robinhood had a slew of active trading products, including options trading and margin, equities and crypto. Those traders look at volatility as an opportunity because they have sophisticated strategies that they can employ when markets are going down and sideways. For the more buy and hold investors, typically they're saving for retirement and they have long-term time horizons. They tend to look at opportunities like this to buy stock and accumulate at discounted prices. One of the things we've been seeing thus far in August is more buying than selling. And that's why we've been seeing so many deposits. Our customers generally have been seeing this as an opportunity to add to their positions.
It's really interesting in some of the figures that you've reported. At the same time that you've got Olympic athletes competing for gold, you've got your own gold subscribers as well right now that are continuing to show some strength for the company, reaching a new high of 2 million. I think that was up 61% year over year. Take us into how you're looking to really capitalize on some of the gold features and make sure that is a direct pass-through to some of the ARPU figure, that average revenue per user.
Yeah, what we're really seeing is the flywheel of Robinhood Gold spinning. As we have more and more gold subscribers, we offer our gold subscribers lower prices across all of the products that are in gold. And that leads to higher wallet share and increased multi-product adoption. One stat that I use is gold subscribers adopt retirement at 5x the rate of non-gold subscribers. And this leads to higher ARPU and increases our ability to lower prices further and leads to the diversified business you're seeing today. We now have 8 business lines that are generating 9 figures in annual revenue. So that's 8 business lines at over 100 million per year. Robinhood Gold subscription being one of them. And so, and we believe we can add more. We're going to continue to add more. And so the business is getting more diversified over time as we're growing each segment. And I think that really makes me optimistic about the opportunity and that we're just at the beginning of it.
And when you talk about those segments, I mean, you also just recently went through 2 major acquisitions. In June, you mentioned Bitstamp, and then additionally, you had the acquisition for Pluto as well. That was more on the AI side. As you think about these acquisitions and how they help define the era that Robinhood is in right now, how would you define the era that this company is finding itself in and where growth is firing at perhaps the most popular cylinder for where you're seeing users come onto the platform?
Yeah, well, one of our analysts said yesterday, Robinhood is firing on all cylinders and adding more cylinders, which I rather liked. I think that was pretty clever. The era that really gave rise to Robinhood was mobile and cloud. Those are 2 big technological shifts that allowed us to carve out a niche in our business because nobody had been really paying attention to mobile. Most of our competitors, I mean, pretty much all the big ones are brick and mortar. They have stores, they rely on people rather than technology to expand. And I think that created the conditions for us to be successful by being a technology company and offering lower prices than our peers in financial services. Now there's another 2 technological shifts that are going to affect our space, and those are artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency. Both of those have the potential to completely reorganize how financial services are delivered to customers, both on an infrastructure level and the service level. And we're thinking about that every day and positioning Robinhood to be successful and a leader across both of these shifts.
Is there one that you would prefer Robinhood to be known at excelling at, the artificial intelligence side or the crypto side, as you had talked about a lot going into the public debut for this company?
Well, that's a tough question. It's like asking me which of my 2 children I find more beautiful. I think both are important and both are inevitable to a certain extent. So we don't have to choose. We already have, a very large cryptocurrency business in retail market share. It's been growing and it's kind of been a dark horse in the space. Not a lot of people think of Robinhood as a major player, but in retail crypto, we're right up there in market share and we're continuing to grow. And then artificial intelligence, the financial services industry hasn't really embraced that. And I think it's incumbent on a technology company that started with that DNA of being technology first to make sure that the financial industry can navigate that transition successfully and safely. So I think both are important. It's hard to pick between one of those 2 technological shifts. It's kind of like asking, what's more important, mobile or cloud? They're both happening, so we have to make sure we're ready for it.
Certainly, we'll accept that. All right, I got to hustle to my finish here, Vlad. First, when you think about the softness in the IPO market, I mean, this is a feature that you had really worked on bringing to the platform users here. When you see softness in an IPO market, does that typically push some of the subscribers, some of the users over to just other crowded trades that are already happening?
That's a good question. I mean, I haven't really thought too much about the link between IPO investing and other trades. I would tell you that I do think it should be a little bit easier for companies to go public. I mean, if you look back in the 80s, companies like Apple and Microsoft went public at relatively low valuations. And what you're seeing now is companies, getting most of the value appreciation in private markets where they're only accessible to accredited investors. And I think that needs to be fixed. I think the cost and the burden of companies going public needs to go down because it used to be that, if you get to 100 million in revenue, that was kind of the moment at which you were sort of public company ready. But now that number's gone much, much higher, and companies are staying private longer, and the appreciation is not seen by retail, which we think is a big problem.
And just lastly, while we have you here, Vlad, the name of the show is Wealth. And for a lot of our viewers out there, they're aspirational towards building their own wealth, being able to retain it, and ultimately get to a stature like you have as well. You know, if you had a message to your younger self just about making sure that you were building a product that you could be proud of and that would help you amass but also retain wealth over time, you know, what would that message be to your earlier self?
Yeah, well, now that I'm older and hopefully a little bit wiser, you can see the gray hairs on my beard. My message would be that I think we tend to overestimate what we can do in the time span of weeks and dramatically underestimate what we can do over a year or two. And I keep being surprised at this. So I think having that perspective, you can start long journeys and chip away at it systematically over a time period of many years. And it's really about figuring out what the smallest step that you can accomplish is, and just making sure you make progress every day. I think it's a lesson in life, but also in investing. I think we have a lot of impatience in how we approach things in business generally. And I think having the perspective and seeing a long time horizon and seeing that play out, I think that's one thing that you gain from just being around longer and having that wisdom. So if you can grok that, I think you're ahead of 95% of the people.
I don't see any grays, so you're doing good from our perspective here, Vlad Tenev, who is the CEO of Robinhood. Thanks so much for taking the time.
All right, thank you.